Sunset Boulevard and Pacific Palisades. This feels like a scene that you would see in a movie. All these cars were left here abandoned yesterday, and emergency trucks had to go through with a bulldozer to clear away so that they could get up to where the fires were. So all these cars were just left here during the evacuation. Massive gridlock. See, the fire went through here and even burned some of these cars that were left behind. Look at this. All of these cars are wrecked.
Homes that have burned to the ground, and also just down the street we're seeing multiple businesses, including the one right next to the Bank of America that burned sometime overnight and into this morning. And again, as I said, it was smoldering all day, but we saw firefighters down the street, and we've seen them abandon firefights multiple times throughout the day as well. They were pouring water and trying to get a fire at the Aldi food market down the street under control, but subsequently realized it wasn't going to happen and decided to take.
They just want to use the hose.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Because I want to show you the devastation. We are actually on Moringa Avenue. We're directly across from the cemetery, but multiple homes on this street have burned. And even the house that's burning now that is currently being doused, firefighters know that it is a total loss. So they are trying to put out those flames to spare other homes down the street from a similar fate. But it's just sadly one house after the other that is completely leveled. And it is a very surreal feeling being here, because there's evidence all around of just how much and how powerful those winds were. We're seeing branches. I saw multiple trees.
We're closed here, but I do see things have been
Back to last night when we were out here, just the winds, I mean, it was reminiscent of covering a hurricane. You could see the smoke and the flames and the embers blowing and the lights. It looked like, rain on the beach, with a major hurricane coming down. So it is comparable but different at the same time. Obviously, the air quality much worse.
And we're doing our very best. We just had our out-of-state resources.
We're not at that point to make that determination. We're dealing with, as you say, containment now. We'll be focusing on people's safety, people's security. The cleanup will be massive. And to the extent any criminals want to take advantage of what's going on, as I've said and will keep saying, they will be held maximally accountable for their actions.
Very clear message from our district attorney.
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. As some of you guys know, or some of you guys may not know, there are a lot of massive fires going on in California right now. Some of you guys may know, or some of you guys may not know, I am a California resident. I was born and raised in California. I am a Californian YouTuber and things like that. And the state that California, specifically Southern California, is in right now is crazy. Now, I live outside of Los Angeles, so some of the areas, or the actual areas that are affected right now, do not directly affect me personally, but there are a lot of individuals that I do know who they are affected by these fires. There are so many people losing their livelihoods, their homes, their churches, their businesses. It started out in Palisade, and it's spreading all over North Hollywood, Studio City, Pasadena. And it is crazy how it's going from town to town to town, spreading literally like wildfire all over the place. It's in the Hollywood Hills. It's in Malibu. Like I said, Pasadena, Sylmar, LA. It's going all over and it's out of control. Now, some areas are contained, but there's new fires being set that look like they are being set, in my opinion, deliberately. Now, a lot of people have been calling on the governor of California and even the Los Angeles mayor. And to me, some of the stuff has been sounding very political. Now, as someone stated in the comments right now, A-Marie says, it was hella windy the last 2 days. Now it's not. Who's controlling the weather? I don't know, but it has been very windy. Today has been on the calmer side, but yesterday was extremely windy. Like, I was in my bedroom and it was so windy to the point because there's like a large tree outside in like by my backyard, like right next to my home. And it's a large tree. And so I just kept thinking, like, is it safe to sleep in my bed? Should I move to the center of my home? Because the wind has been blowing like crazy. And I can understand how fires are spreading. But to me, some of this sounds intentional. And the way that people are speaking on, you know, the presidents are speaking out. You have Biden speaking about the fires. You have Trump speaking about the fires. You have Newsom speaking about the fires and responding to Trump. And you even have the LA mayor who was under fire because seemingly nobody was prepared for these fires. And there was severe budget cuts leading up to this. And that's what makes me think that this could possibly be political. Now, I'm going to show you guys some of the questions that people were asking the mayor of Los Angeles in regards to cutting funding for the Los Angeles area and how this has been playing out. But before I do that, I just want to show you guys how people are literally, it's like the Wild Wild West out here, okay? It is literally like the Wild Wild West. I'm going to show you guys this video real quick, and then we're going to go to the LA mayor.
Honestly, I did not pay attention. I just drove straight to the barn to get my horses out and get the rest of these guys out. We're not just going to let them burn.
I got a bunch out with trailers, and there's a bunch in there still. How many more? Yeah, we don't know. I don't know how many. How many did you let out?
We took about 4 of them in trailers, 2 in the different trailers, 3 in another one. So there should be at least maybe 12.
About 12? Are there more people out there right now?
It's a whole bar.
Let's go down to get these out. I got, let's see. So there's 4, 2, 3, what is that, 9? How many before that? 11, 12. There's 12. Yeah, no, they're pretty wired up. Yeah. They're getting used to it now, but when the wind's blowing and the embers are, they don't really know what to do. Have you seen anything like this? Look at that hillside. Yeah, I've rescued before. Yeah? Yeah. Please be safe. Yeah, thank you. You be safe too. Yeah.
These people just trying to get their poor little horses out, and the lady just sticking a camera in her face.
Is really rip-roaring
right here.
at a pretty steady pace and flying up that hillside with those embers already starting secondary fires. They're getting water on the fire, but there are embers blowing uphill, and now a new fire. Go ahead. Over to the left, there's another structure catching on fire near the top of this hill. This is directly up from Veneta and Sunswept Drive. You can see the fire in that patio starting on the left-hand side of your screen. Some brush in the middle. There's another house that hasn't been touched yet, but there are 2, I think that's 2 houses that are now on fire, well involved. LA City Fire just getting on scene, getting water on the fire. I wonder if we are going to see them drop some water over here, but this is a completely separate part of town. We are in the San Fernando Valley on the Studio City side, kind of right at the edge of Studio City and Sherman Oaks, I would say. And this fire is going really, really good. I almost wonder how long this has been going on. There comes the water drop. They are now dropping water. We were on our way back.
But do you hear him? This is on a completely different side of town from the fires. And it's just like, what's really going on here? So let's hear from the mayor, and let's hear what she has to say, which is a whole bunch of nothing. She didn't really say much here.
Homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up? Appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home? Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. They're gonna come. Ma'am, hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting all sorts of challenges. They're talking about...
All right, so she ignored him there, but on this stream, I seen that she was kind of, she did do a press conference. But I think a lot of these fires are intentional. I think that it has been a lot of political things going on since the start of 2025. We've seen political statements with Teslas being burned up. We've seen political statements with people running over people in New Orleans. We've seen so many different political acts happening, and it's just crazy. And what's even crazier is Biden, hold on. He's talking about how all these people lost their homes and stuff like that. But guess what? I'm a granddaddy. And it's like...
I want to give you an update to what we saw happen a few hours ago. We want to show you this. This was some video that I shot on my phone of Marine One landing in Santa Monica. President Biden was in town today. The real reason he was in town was to see the birth of his great-grandchild at Cedars-Sinai. They scheduled a national monument trip to sort of justify that, which didn't end up happening. He was here, and so because he was here, they did a photo op today with Governor Newsom that was pretty brief. You see him there with the head of CAL FIRE as well, getting a briefing. The president did not answer any questions from the media. He read some notes that were prepared for him off a piece of paper, and Governor Newsom praised him for quickly giving him federal funding. And then the president was off. Here's part of the briefing, though, that the president got from Kristen Crowley, who, of course, leads the LA Fire Department.
Helicopters, fire engines. I've never seen the winds in my 25-year career, so we lean forward as much as possible and pre-deployed. With that, we had a significant amount of fire that occurred. We had an aggressive fire attack. The fire has grown from originally 10 acres to 10,802 acres as we speak. It's an active firefight with our firefighters, and they're doing their very best to protect our people within this area.
I wish we could play you sound of President Biden talking, but his team decided to not mic him up. They mic'd up the fire chief, so we do not have good sound of the president talking, and he did not get close enough to the mics to actually say anything.
Oh, we have it. Hold on. Let's hear.
Their home is probably burning down. Today, there's a baby still standing. I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great grandfather as of today. I have a granddaughter. baby girl, baby boy. So I remember you stay for a while long resources. Thank you. Breath.
It's very okay.
Let me restart that for y'all.
Notification yesterday their home was probably burned down. Today, the parents of the baby still standing. I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great grandfather as of today. I have a granddaughter.
He goes on talking about how some houses burned to the ground. He said they got notifications yesterday that their homes probably burnt to the ground. But the good news is I'm a great grandfather as of today.
Baby girl, baby boy. So I remember you stay for a while long resources. Thank you. Breath.
It's very okay.
And then he didn't answer no questions. A mess. Let's see some of these other reports. Child, not they put movies on there.
Studio City. This is off of Sunswept Drive and Vanetta Place in Studio City. You're looking at a house, perhaps two.
Sunswept Drive.
That are on Sunswept Drive. We do have Chris Christie there setting up. You see the LA City Fire Department that is there. It looks like a hose stream is on that house, but another fire is broken out.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple. They're near each other. There's two fires. This is very concerning to see this.
Appreciation and cooperation we received from the White House and this administration. So on behalf of all of us, Mr. President, thank you for being here, and not just being here today. Thank you for being here since the minute of this incident. There was a 10-acre fire less than 24 or so hours ago on deep ground.
Let me see what I have what the governor has said in response.
We're in the public safety phase.
I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, it's people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids.
It's like, let's go where the fires are so you can respond there. Like,
lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Finally, your message to the folks here, to this community.
I mean, we have their backs, and we're going to be back, and this is going to be a long recovery process. But look, so I'm not just playing the politician role of optimism. I really am long-term optimistic. But the devastation to hear people wailing and crying, concerned about their pet, their family, they're just bewildered about what they're experiencing. And again, not just experience. I was not talking past tense. This is happening in real time. 0% containment.
all right. So he said people are literally fleeing. Kids have lost their schools. Communities have lost their churches. Families have lost their homes. Some have even lost their lives. And the president-elect's response is to politicize it. We'll continue to focus on what matters, saving lives and putting out these unprecedented fires. Okay, and this is what Donald Trump said to the governor. He said, Governor Gavin Newsom, Newsom, refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, not firefighting planes, a true disaster. All right. And he also says, these are tweets from 2019, where he also basically criticized him as well.
There's been a lot of study going on over the last little while, and I will say I think you're going to have, hopefully this is going to be the last of these, because this was a really, really bad one.
This is from 2019.
And I know Gavin's committed, we're all committed, I'm committed to make sure that we get all of this cleaned out and protected. We got to take care of the floors, you know, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have...
All right, enough. I feel like it's all political. I feel like some people, and I'm not going to say who, but I feel like some people are stirring up the pots to look like saviors. I feel like not everybody is competent, but I don't think that everybody is as incompetent as, you know, the fingers that are pointing. I feel like there is a lot of messy political propaganda going on so that certain people could come in and look like they are the great white hope. And a lot of lives and families and memories and all of that is collateral damage. I pray for everybody who is affected. There are a lot of people that are displaced because of these fires. There are people who have been out of power, who are not directly in the fire areas, but in the surrounding areas. There's power outages going on and in different neighborhoods. I'm not in Los Angeles, like I stated. I'm outside of Los Angeles, and even on like my neighborhood apps, there's even neighborhoods around that where I live where there's like notifications of people like, hey, the power went out, the power went out. Luckily, my power has not been affected. Sad to the people's who power is, but I just feel like a lot of this is political propaganda, and I don't really like to talk about politics on my channel a lot. I really don't like to feed into conspiracy theories a lot, but this just has a certain stench to it. And yes, it has been windy, and yes, it is possible for fires to spread, but there's just a certain stench to this that makes me feel like it's just going along with the rest of all of the nastiness that I have been seeing since the start of 2025. And I just pray for us all in 2025, because you never know what the next story is going to be, what the next disaster is going to be, when the next mass shooting will be, when the next thing will happen. Paris Hilton also is among one of the celebrities who lost her home. And there was a lot of people making jokes about, oh, well, she's a millionaire, she can just cry in another mansion. Just because you are a millionaire and you can get another mansion, you cannot replace sentimental value of places. You cannot replace the memories that you build in certain homes. There are certain homes, whether, you know, and a lot of people are bitter towards the rich, and they have this kind of like, oh, well, too bad, so sad, you know, you're not struggling, so, you know, who cares kind of mentality. And I think at the end of the day, it's sad for everybody who's losing valuable homes, memories, sentimental items, photos that you can't get back, heirlooms. There are things in people's homes that have been passed down from generation to generation. Just because you're rich does not mean that you don't have certain things of value that have been passed down generation to generation. There's a lot of hurt and pain in these fires, and special items, like Tammy said in the chat, that people are losing. And, you know, I don't know. It's a lot of people that are heartless because somebody may have more than them and they feel like, you know, this or that. But you can't even be sure that everything will be covered. Some people always say like, oh, well, they have insurance, you know, they'll be okay. But you don't know. When there is fires to this magnitude, there's so much damage that is happening in communities. Those insurance companies will fight tooth and nail to not pay out. They will find any loophole to leave these families in ruins. So, you know, I just don't have the same sentiment of, oh, well, you're rich, or, oh, well, this, that, because at the end of the day, the way these fires are spreading, you never know if it could be you in your neighborhood next, because just as well as it started in Palisade, it was in Malibu, it's now in Pasadena, Studio City, you know, Los Angeles areas that you wouldn't expect the fire to travel to, and you just don't know. Like in my area, you know, you just never know. So I'm just not going to make fun of or feel like, oh, well, just because this person, that. Everybody is human at the end of the day, and it's just sad all the way around. And soon we'll see what the agenda is, because to me, there's some type of agenda behind some of these things that have been rolling out in 2025. What are you guys' thoughts on it? Do any of you guys want to come up and give your opinions on what's going on out here? If so, I'll open up the StreamYard. If not, then I'll end the live and I'll work on some other content. But before I got to working on other content, I just wanted to make a special stream and say that, you know, I'm praying for the whole California. You know, I'm praying for all that are affected. I'm praying for everybody who has lost their homes. I'm praying for, you know, people who are affected. And within this, you know, there's scammers, there's looters, there's all kind of stuff going on in the midst. There's people who are lending out, and companies who are lending out, like Airbnbs, hotels, and people who are not affected by it are trying to scam. And it's just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm praying for everybody, praying for it all. It's a sad situation. If you guys want to come up and talk about it, if there are any LA natives who are affected by the fires and you want to come up and talk about it, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat, and only put a 1 in the chat if you personally want to come up and speak. I'll drop the link. I'm gonna watch a couple of more coverage, a couple of more conferences, and then we'll be out.
And the U.S. Forest Service arson investigators. And the moment we learn the cause of this fire, we will advise the media. We also have a new fire start in the Acton area of Los Angeles County, the Lydia Fire, estimated to be between 80 and 100 acres, 30% contained, and thankfully, forward progress has been stopped. As the Region 1 coordinator, I did request mutual aid from the 5 counties of Los Angeles, Orange County, Ventura, Santa Barbara, and San Luis Obispo counties yesterday. Additionally, last night, I contacted the State Office of Emergency Services and requested 250 additional engine companies from Northern California, staffed with over 1,000 personnel. At this time, the state of California is exercising their emergency compacts with the western states of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Oregon, and Washington for additional firefighting resources and personnel to come to Los Angeles County to assist us with this widespread fire emergency. One data point is that we have 60 units responding from Oregon, 45 units responding from Washington, 10 units responding from New Mexico, 15 units responding from Utah, and numerous units responding from Arizona. Currently, the National Weather Service has predicted that this red flag warning will remain in effect for Los Angeles County and much of Ventura County through Friday. Thank you, and I would now like to invite up to the podium Los Angeles Police Chief Jim McDonald.
Thank you very much, Chief. I just want to say a few things and not to repeat what's already been said any more than needs to be stressed, but a sincere thank you to everybody who's out there in the impacted area for your patience and your support, to our first responders and support departments who have been out there from the very beginning doing the very best they can to protect everybody. The word resilience was used, and that's what it's going to be. We're going to be an example of resilience in the very best sense of the word. We're going to bounce back from this, and it's going to be a challenging week ahead, but we're
in magnitude. Hurricane.
We don't know. We're
part of what's left of one of the arms. But these are hurricane force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions. To provide context, at 10:20 a.m. yesterday, the Palisades fire was at 10 acres. 12 minutes later, it was at 200 acres. To those who fled their homes, especially those who have lost your homes, our hearts are breaking for you, and we stand with you. I know the world is looking at images of our city's devastation. I have seen the front lines of the Palisades fire, and it is staggering. I've been in constant contact with our fire commanders, with county, state, and federal officials. I took the fastest route back, which included being on a military plane, which facilitated our communications. So I was able to be on the phone the entire time of the flight. We are fighting for you and everyone in Los Angeles. Thank you to our first responders who waded into flames, pulled people from cars, and got them to safety no matter how dangerous. And thank you to everyone who heeded our warnings to evacuate. Tonight, more people may get evacuation orders, and if they do, please leave immediately. If you have an evacuation warning, get ready to go. Protect yourself and each other, and support our firefighters on the front lines. Our strategy included preparations and pre-deployment, and it now includes fire crews from around the state and from our federal partners. We are also adapting in real time. These winds continue to blow. So let me be clear. I am making sure that we leave no resource untapped. Firefighters are now on scene from across the state and across.
Mimi in the chat says, @Neek, seriously, your title is straight clickbait. My title, if you didn't go to school or not, I'm not sure what everybody's education level is, but my title is a question. My title is not a statement, whether a question. It says, are the California fires being set on purpose? Now, I'm not sure what school you went to, what education you ended at, but that is a question. That is not a fact. That is me proposing a question on something that is an eyebrow raise. Now, I pray that if you did not pass the second grade, that you go back to school and you get the proper schooling that you should have received, where they taught the fundamental structures of sentence, questions, and things like that, because my title is a question. Now, let me go to the StreamYard link to see if there is anybody here. Tommy and O'Main. Hey, how are you?
Oh man, what it do? I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. But yeah, I just was on Clubhouse and they were saying the same thing. Basically, you know, they starting on fires. But I see what you're saying though, so I agree with you, or what you was trying to say. You know what I'm talking about?
What area are you? Where are you from?
I'm from Memphis, but I'm out here in I'm out here in Cali right now.
Oh, you in California right now?
Mm-hmm.
Are you in any of the areas where the fires are?
No. I ain't in the area. I'm really right now. I'm in Vegas right now, but I just left the base, so I already heard about the fires and stuff like that. But then now I'm seeing, you know, firsthand. I'm seeing it firsthand. So you know what's up. You know what it is. Like, they doing so much. I don't want to say too much without saying too much, but I got a channel too, so you know we don't get say so much.
I mean, well, you came up here, you gotta say something. Cause you said you saying I ain't trying to say, you saying a whole bunch of nothing. For real. We being honest.
Look,
Thank you, Lex, for the super chat.
You know what's going on in the world, and you know what these people doing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm saying a whole lot. You know I'm saying a whole lot. But, you know, we only can say so much in front of these cameras and stuff like that, you know? But it is what it is, though.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
For sure.
Oh, man. All right. Tommy?
Hey, Neek.
Hey, what's your thoughts?
It's just a mess. It's more than a mess. And all these people that have lost their homes, they're only going to get $200 per household, a one-time payment, just like in Hawaii. That is ridiculous. And my issue is that these insurance, what I've been reading on, is that these insurances are not paying out because they don't have the funds. And I'm like, how is that possible when you increased your premiums and you have increased the prices of your insurance? It don't make no sense. Right. It don't make no sense. And I'm just like, I'm just over it. People, you're right. This is not a rich thing. That's what people are getting mixed up about. They keep getting the rich mixed up with these corporations. The corporations are the problem, not the rich. And these corporations, they're hustlers. They will do anything to make a buck out of you and not pay you your insurance. It's just very problematic. And it's just insane to me that they act all surprised when a certain CEO was, unalived. And they act all shocked. They are creating people with nothing left to lose, and that is dangerous. And they just don't seem to understand it.
Yeah, it's getting crazy out here. I really don't know what's in store for us in 2025, but all I know is the prices is going up, and the tragedies are multiplying, and the devastation of each situation that each person, whether it be mass shooting, whether it be these fires, whether it be whatever the case, it's getting hard out here for everybody, and it's crazy. Somebody said record rain but no water in the reservoir. I don't know where there has been any rain. There's no rain in my area, so I'm not sure where
there's no rain. There's no rain in Arizona. I haven't had rain in like almost a year.
Yeah, it's no rain where I'm at either, so I'm not sure where they saying record. Maybe that's the East Coast, maybe, I don't know, but it ain't rained. I don't even know if it's like, I can't even remember the last time it rained out here. Dang. To be honest. Yeah, I can't even remember the last time it rained. It's been a while for sure, so I really don't know. Is there anybody else in California? You can stay on, Tommy. Is there anybody else in California who wants to speak on the fire situation? If not, I'll go back to the press conference and play it a little bit more, and then we'll hear some more from Tommy, and then After that, we'll close out if nobody else wants to click the link. But if there's anybody else who wants to chime in, let me know. Tommy, what else did you want to add to it? Because you're in Arizona. I didn't know that she was in Arizona.
Yeah, it doesn't even get that cold anymore. It's the winter. Like, I remember a while ago that in the mornings the windshield used to be all covered up. You couldn't see anything. It doesn't get that cold anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's been a little bit cold to me, but I get what you're saying. It's not as like freezing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely notice that something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on. Tashawn, click the link. B Millie, yes, you can call in. There's no actual like number. You just have to click the link. And once you click the link, it'll bring you onto the stream. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want. You could turn your camera off and just turn your audio on. You said it's 42 right now, high 69s in the day. I don't even know what the temperature is right now for me because I have not even checked because I have not even gone outside. Let me see what is the temperature in my area. Right now it's 50 degrees in my area. Fires in the west and ice in the east. Crazy times. Yes, we are definitely in crazy times for sure. Millie B, it says your device is not connected. Thank you, Florida, Georgia. Florida native says, who's in Cali? I'm in Cali, but I'm not in the area where there is a fire. You have to connect your mic and your camera. You just have to turn your camera off. So you have to connect yourself to the stream. You have to use your audio and your video, but you just turn your camera off, your audio on. That's how you do it. So you have to connect yourself to the stream in order to work. Because Debbie C, it says your device is not connected as well. I'm not sure what you guys are doing. Keita says it's 45 degrees in Dago. Yeah, it's a lot. It's like a little colder in Dago because y'all right by the water. Your mom's house burned down in Altadena. Click the link. Click the link. Tommy, explain to them how to do it because I think they probably doing something wrong because I said they don't have to be on camera. So I think they're not doing something right.
Hold on. Okay. So all they gotta do is click the StreamYard link, and then then a page will load up on your Chrome or whatever browser you use, and then it'll say entering the studio.
Thank you, Lex.
And then it'll say allow mic and cam access, and then you press that, and then it gives you another screen pops up, and it shows what do you want to be called, and or if you want your mic and camera on, and then you just press the camera off, and then you just tap in. It says it's to go ahead and call in basically.
Yeah, you have to allow access. So. Debbie, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna take you off the stream. Click back in and try again. Wally Will, hello. Wally Will. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. I really don't. And y'all know my patience is like this. I'm working on getting my patience like this, but right now my patience is like this. But yeah, so I'm gonna wait for a second. Hope because I know there are some people who do want to share what's going on. You have to allow access to your camera and then turn your camera off. That's how you have to do it. So I'm gonna wait a couple more seconds. Other than that, Tommy, how have you been?
I've been doing good. I'm doing good. It's crazy. They're still pumping fireworks over here. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ever since because they never used to allow fireworks because we're in the desert. So ever since they gave us that right, everyone's been popping fireworks. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad that the last fireworks they were popping was New Year's Eve, because I do not like to hear a whole bunch of fireworks popping off. Deborah, it's okay. I know you probably haven't used it before. You just have to click the link, allow access, and when you are about to enter into the stream, you just turn your camera off. But yeah, I'll finish playing what the mayor was saying as well.
The country. I spoke with President Biden today and Governor Newsom earlier today, and they assured me of full federal and state support. As we head into tonight, we are still facing strong and erratic winds. In Palisades and in Sylmar, we are very much in an active firefight. I can report to you that the Woodley fire, however, in the Sepulveda Basin is under control. I can also report that finally air operations have resumed, and that is a big deal, but it is up to the winds as to how long the air support can continue. But these conditions are highly volatile. We've seen a devastating fire in the Pasadena area. Fires have sparked up in Simi Valley and on the LA and Ventura County line. And as our firefighters do battle on the front lines, all of us must be vigilant. So if you receive an evacuation order, please leave immediately. If you receive a warning, get ready. Protect yourself and protect each other. And don't divert firefighters from our strategy. Signals are out and the roads have debris. So stay off the roads unless you are evacuating or have another emergency. Be prepared, food, water, medicine, a bag packed and ready. Again, this is an active situation. And conserve water to the extent that you can. We want to make sure that we are ready if we need more water. But make no mistake, Los Angeles will rebuild stronger than ever. Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this. Through the heroism of our firefighters, the vigilance of Angelenos, and the spirit of our city. This is a big moment. It is a big moment for all of us to come together, for Angelenos to be united, for Angelenos to be prepared to help each other. This is who we are. LA will rise, and make no mistake, I am confident that we will rebuild. And with that, I would like to introduce LA County Board of Supervisor Chair Catherine Barker.
All right, we're gonna pause there. We got some people that came on. Jared, hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a Democrat issue.
You think it's a Democrat issue? Elaborate.
You know, like Gavin Newsom and that, and just getting revenge, I guess.
You think that Gavin Newsom is getting revenge?
Yeah, because Donald Trump is basically now in.
Oh, so you think that he set fire in California to get revenge on Donald because he's now the president?
Yeah, not him specifically, but you know, his lackeys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anything else you want to state before I go to the next person?
Oh no, that's all. Thank you.
Are you currently in California right now?
No, I'm in Saskatchewan, Canada.
Oh, okay. You're in Canada. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Millie B.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm in San Diego, California.
Okay.
More specific. Okay, yeah. So more specifically, La Mesa, so East County. Essentially, I work remotely, and I literally, if anyone's familiar with Malibu, Decker Canyon Road, I literally live behind Fire Station 72. Fire Station 72, like right behind my gate. And if anything were to happen in these hills on a normal circumstance, we still have to call in 3 additional fire departments from surrounding counties just to handle a local house fire. So that in itself, you know, we hear the aftermath of how much that resource costs to put out that fire. But as someone has stated previously, we haven't truly had rain in California heavy since the end of October. Like
yeah,
around that time.
We haven't had rain in a very long time.
Yeah, in a minute. So even if those reservoirs were filled, trust and believe, whatever many fires have been happening in the forests, you know, just throughout the years, really throughout this year, we had like 3 major. Those resources have been tapped. That's literally where that comes from. Part 2 of that is, I do think that a lot of this is politically motivated, because even down here in San Diego, you got to talk to the streets. You have to talk to the streets. You got to keep your ears tapped in. But when you talk to people who are in these homeless encampments, literally, they might just have a night of F this. Let's start some shit. And they generally do this close to residential neighborhoods. And since everyone pretty much knows, if you're local to an area, you know who's in your neighborhood, you know the ones that you see all the time. These same, individuals, they travel in packs. This shit is done on purpose.
All right, watch the curse words, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know, being banned. But essentially, I believe that a lot of these are politically motivated, and that they are, started by individuals with political motivations. That's why, essentially, religion and politics are always going to be sensitive. But just something that I notice just on my daily, like in my commute, my park and ride, riding a trolley, riding a bus, a lot of houseless individuals are very, how can I say? They have an animosity towards those of us who are participating in a capitalist society. It's like almost like an anger. Everyone has their own mental issues,
So you
even
believe
though
that these fires are set by the homeless encampments?
By various, yes.
Okay.
Yes, various of those on the streets. Because just even the ones that have been motivated, like I said, here in San Diego, close to these residential neighborhoods, the 2 men that they have caught, their statements were pretty much, well, they work, they can afford to move, they can do it again. Like I said, it's like an animosity they have towards those who are participating in capitalist, society, no matter the political affiliation. They're doing this because, again, there's no trace of them. They can move in and around this country because they literally have no record of trace. That's why they can't even begin to make trails on these, whether it's happening up in Temecula, the Inland Empire. Here, we never really hear about it in the Bay Area, but all these, fires are generally in Southern California. So that's just, my 2 cents on it. But I do believe that it's politically motivated, in addition to, a lot of the homeless encampment, because they seem to be have the most strongest opinion, just on political matters, housing resources, the governor, the president. It's like a trickle-down effect. So just depending on where they are within that loop is where their animosity comes for government. They're not doing this to hurt us, the individual. They're doing this to hurt the local government. And that's, again, just my 2 cents.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
on, Millie.
Thank you, ma'am.
And, she clicked off. Shanti?
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
My name is Ashanti, like the singer.
Ashanti. Why you didn't write Ashanti then?
I just say Shanti for short.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your thoughts?
So I'm in California. I'm in Sacramento, and I don't know if the fires. It's 3 fires so far, right? The Palisades, Altadena, Pasadena, or is it going into Pasadena or LA into Pasadena?
There was a fire in Studio City. There was fires in the Hollywood Hills. There was fires around the North Hollywood area. There was fires Palisade, Sylmar, Pasadena. So there was fires in Runyon Canyon, multitude of areas.
Right. Okay, so I know up here in Northern California, where I am, Sacramento, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, the last time we got rain up here was the week of Christmas, Hanukkah. That's the last time I remember us getting any rain. It wasn't a heavy, hardcore rain like we got a couple of years ago, actually during
Malibu
New Year's. Yeah. So, and that 2 years ago was crazy, and a lot of people don't understand. I know you do. California, during this time, the wind kicks up. It's dry, even though we have a good amount of rain sometimes. In the last 3 or 4 years, we've been having a good rain. It hasn't been steady. However, since the week I'm talking about, last December 2024, and up till now, we haven't gotten a lot of rain. I don't know if it's political. However, certain politicians, they will try to politicize things. However, I want to go back to what Millie was saying just a little bit about the unhoused. Yes, sometimes the unhoused, they do start fires. They have encampments where they're trying to stay warm. They're trying to cook food. And who knows what else with the fire. It goes on all the time. I don't know if they're intentionally starting fires to be this massive or get to this magnitude, because even though they can wander and be nomads and travel here and there and be untraceable, the less they have to travel, the better off they are. And I'm speaking from a perspective where I know unhoused people here who intentionally are unhoused, meaning it's their choice. They have family they can go to. They have family housing they can go to. They just don't want to do that. They rather be what you call free spirits. So it may be the unhoused have started something for whatever reason, mainly during this time to keep warm. However, think about this. I don't know if you remember in Northern California over towards the border of Reno, Nevada and California. No, excuse me, over towards the border, Nevada and California. There's a city called Paradise. And Paradise had the whole town burned down. And that fire, it started from the wires for the electricity. Because of the wind kicking up, however the wires got broken, they were coming down, trees fell on them, whatnot, birds got to them, whatever. If there is some little spark, if the wind goes awry and there's some little spark and then it touches something dry like the leaves, the brush, the ground or whatever, and it's not saturated enough, that could spread a fire. So a lot of times that is what has happened. Mm-hmm. And yeah, take the wind into account, take the weather and the wind into account. And so sometimes the electric company, right, they actually do involuntary power shutoffs when there's going to be a forecast of wind coming up, right? Because they know if those those non-underground power lines, if they're susceptible to some sort of wind damage and they can rub on anything and spark a fire, the electric company will involuntarily shut people power off until the warning of the wind goes away. So I believe that's also a possibility of what could have happened in these fires. If these people's electric power lines are not underground to where they're not affected by the wind, then that is a possibility. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. I didn't want to be too long-winded. So I just wanted to give my perspective up here. Of course, in Northern Cali, we're cool, up here where I am, the city of trees. we definitely we definitely get the wind up here. We know about our tree problem. Our trees can come crashing down in the houses, cars, tree limbs coming down on the power lines. So the power company has been doing a major project. I don't know how far it extends, but up, I know at least towards Humboldt and down in the Bay Area, at least probably a little bit lower. The power company has been moving lines underground, moving those power lines underground to avoid the possibility of fires being sparked by power lines. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Shanti.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep. See you, Nick.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
We had another person who was backstage. I see Terry Black speaking in the comments about your mother's home that got burned down. If you want to come up really quickly and talk about it, you can. If not, I'm going to end the stream. I thank you guys so much for coming and chatting with me. Now, in my opinion, I mean, could it be homeless? Maybe, possibly. But I think it's much deeper than that. Like I said, in my opinion, I feel like it has some type of political nature to it. So that's just my opinion. It could be something as simple as the homeless, but I just feel like it's far more sinister than that. And I think that it is all for I am your savior, somebody to swoop in and act like they are the savior to it all. But Terry said you'll talk tomorrow. Okay, well, thank you so much. I really don't have nothing more to say on the topic. I thank you so much, Tommy. And stay backstage, Tommy. Don't click off yet. But I'm gonna end the stream. You said plan indeed. Yeah, that Good night, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.